Every project promises to deliver value for the money it spends. But how do you know, partway through the work, whether you are actually getting your money's worth? Earned value management is the toolkit that answers that question with hard numbers instead of guesswork. It combines three simple measurements: what you plan to spend, what you have actually earned in completed work, and what you have actually spent, into a handful of formulas that reveal the true health of a project. In this lesson, you will learn those formulas, work through a complete numeric example together, and come away able to tell instantly whether a project is ahead or behind, over or under budget, and where it is headed if nothing changes. In this lesson, you will build the full earned value toolkit, from raw inputs to final forecasts, and learn to read the story behind the numbers. Every earned value calculation starts with three numbers: what you plan to spend by now, what the completed work is actually worth, and what you have actually spent. Everything else in this lesson is built from these three figures. From those three inputs, you will calculate cost variance and schedule variance, plus their ratio cousins, cost performance index, and schedule performance index. These tell you not just whether you are off track, but by how much and how efficiently. You will learn three different ways to forecast the final cost of a project, depending on whether current problems are expected to continue or were a one-time blip, plus how much work and budget remain. You will look at 5 distinct S-curve patterns, from perfectly on track to worst case, so you can glance at a chart and immediately diagnose whether a project is ahead, behind, over, or under budget. Finally, you will learn how contingency and management reserves protect a budget against known and unknown risks, and how funding limit reconciliation keeps spending aligned with the cash an organization actually releases. Before working any numbers, look at the 5 formulas you will use again and again. Keep this table in mind as your dashboard for the rest of the lesson. Cost variance subtracts actual cost from earned value. When the result is negative, you have spent more than the work is worth, and the project is running over budget. Schedule variance subtracts planned value from earned value. A negative result means you have earned less value than you planned to by this point, so you are behind schedule. Cost performance index divides earned value by actual cost. A result below 1 means every dollar spent is only returning a fraction of a dollar's worth of value. Schedule performance index divides earned value by planned value. A result below 1 means work is progressing slower than the plan called for. Estimate at completion divides the total budget by the cost performance index. It projects what the entire project will actually cost if current spending efficiency continues unchanged. Picture a website project with a $50,000 budget. By week 2, the plan called for 40% done, but only 30% is finished, and $20,000 has been spent. Planned value is the percentage of work you intended to have finished, multiplied by the total budget. 40% of $50,000 gives you a planned value of $20,000. Earned value is the percentage of work actually completed, multiplied by that same total budget. 30% of $50,000 gives you an earned value of $15,000. Cost variance subtracts actual cost from earned value. $15,000 minus $20,000 gives negative $5,000, a warning sign that the project is spending more than the work is worth. Schedule variance subtracts planned value from earned value. $15,000 minus $20,000 also gives negative $5,000, meaning less work has been finished than the schedule called for. 2 negative numbers, 1 clear message. This project is both over budget and behind schedule at the same time, and the size of each variance in dollars tells you exactly how serious the gap has become. With earned value at $15,000 and actual cost at $20,000, you can now measure efficiency and forecast where this project is headed if nothing changes. Cost performance index divides earned value by actual cost. 15,000 divided by 20,000 equals 0.75, meaning every dollar spent is returning only 75 cents of value. Schedule Performance Index divides earned value by planned value. 15,000 divided by 20,000 also equals 0.75, so work is progressing at only 75% of the planned rate. Estimate at completion divides the total budget by the Cost Performance Index. 50,000 divided by 0.75 projects a final cost of about $66,700. Estimate to complete subtracts actual cost already spent from that forecasted total. 66,700 minus 20,000 leaves about $46,700 still needed. Variance at completion subtracts the forecast from the original budget. 50,000 minus 66,700 leaves a shortfall of about $16,700. If nothing changes, this project will finish over budget by roughly $16,700. That single number is the difference between quietly hoping things improve and having a concrete case for corrective action or a formal rebaseline. You have now built the complete earned value toolkit from the ground up: planned value, earned value, and actual cost feeding into variances, efficiency ratios, and forecasts. You walked through a real numeric example, watching how a project that looked only mildly behind on paper, 10 percentage points short of plan, actually translates into a projected $16,700 overrun by the end. In the next part, you will learn how to read these same signals visually on an S-curve, spot 5 distinct diagnostic patterns at a glance, and understand how reserves and funding limits protect a budget against the unexpected. That's it for this lesson. See you in the next lesson.